Hi everyone, this is just a quick video on propagation of the anise-scented sage or the guaranatica, Salvia guaranatica. Okay, so I cut off this semi-hardwood, it's maybe more softwood than hardwood branch, and I'll strip most of the leaves. Let's get the pocket knife. By the way, there I have some potting soil. It's a fine grade. I don't have any special ingredients, and this will be a little container. I think they call it a plug. Anyway, why is it so small? Because I want to compress the soil into there, and I think it's just better to handle it like that. And then I have a small, very thin plastic. I just cut it from a plastic bag. This is to cover the top part of the soil. I don't think that's necessary, but I don't want it to dry very quick. And this plug has got a little drainage hole, an elevated drainage hole. It's just to be able to submerge it into water and to wet the soil from the bottom. Okay, let's proceed with this cutting. And it's a very pleasant smell, this anise-scented sage. Start from the bottom. You can keep the leaves for a very pleasant smell in the room. I think we can remove the big ones on top as well. That's the two big ones. Maybe it would be better to shorten the cutting to the next node. It's a little bit long, and then we can use the bottom node as well and insert it into soil and see what happens. Maybe it's a separate experiment. No, I think there will just not be enough left. I will ruin the cutting. There's already a lot of softwood there, and this is a better variety of hard and softwood on top. So okay, I'll do what I do with the fuchsias. I'll nibble the bottom part here, just to tell the cutting it's now in survival mode, something has bitten it. Something in that line. Now with mint, I also don't have that much success unless I insert them directly into water. That's the only way. Keep it simple. Okay, let's add our soil now. By the way, these Salvias, if you put them in a plastic bag or anything like that, they rot very quickly. So we compress it. Okay, we can add some more. We are kind of optimistic that it's gonna grow, gonna root and grow in this plug for a while. And we can leave some space on top so that we can also water it from top if desired. Okay, I think it's now quite compressed. I'm gonna use my nails on this node as well, just below the node, nibble it. I'm just gonna cut that bottom part of the removed leaves to the bark. We just want to chip through the bark. Okay, I think that's good. And then just scrape it a bit, exactly as I do with fuchsias. Now these Sylvias are anything but fuchsias, and that's maybe the mistake I've made before. Okay, now it should go in firmly. Okay, it's got a lot of friction. Okay, now the second node is just above the soil. And we're going to compress it still a bit more. Now this plastic above the soil I think is optional, but I don't want to keep too much moisture around the cutting because they are very prone to rot, the cuttings. Okay, so now we just need to water it. I think we can remove the bigger leaves as well. Might be better. I think once they wilt, it will be too late anyway. So I'm gonna remove them as well after all. Okay, there we are. I'll just allow it some morning sun and then water every day. Maybe one can add some woody stuff or some stones on top, just to help keep the soil moist, but not the cutting, not the part above, not the part that's not in contact with the soil. Okay, until next time, thanks for watching. 5 weeks later, and the anise-scented sage, or the Sylvia guaranatica, has rooted. It looks strong except for some burnt leaves. I hope it's just the leaves aging. And it wilted a few times, including this morning, but it recovered well, as you can see. The soil just got a little bit dry, and the days are getting hotter with more morning sun, morning to afternoon sun, but it's filtered though through the shrub outside. The crown, I'm not sure if that looks so healthy. It looks a little bit burnt as well, but Let's hope it will grow now. And the indecisiveness of removing, of how many leaves to remove, paid off well. It didn't wilt seriously at all. The leaves only hung a little, but it didn't touch the edge of the plug though. And it recovered every time. Today it recovered very, very quick. I don't see the roots approaching the edge, but the next step would be to transplant it to a bigger container. So I'll just put it back in its same spot where it started and wait for it to progress. Thanks for watching.